Hello everyone, for this review we've got the Transformers Legacy United Autobot 5-pack. The box is just this dark background with the cardboard paper color. So the black is printed and the Autobots are represented in blueprint format. This is cool. I mean, some good graphics. Um, the back, this is upside down. This is very much like those Amazon exclusive releases. So let's open this up. All right, so here we have them out of the box. And I will say that in person, these things look very striking. The colors that they used look really nice. One thing I'm a bit torn about is we've had most of these figures already minus Hound, so we get a G1 Earth mode Hound for the first time. Although we've had this mold, we just haven't had this color. And I didn't have Sunstreaker or Trailblazer, but I remember seeing this guy in the store and just really not liking the yellow that they used. It just the whole thing kind of looked cheap, and this looks nice. Even Jazz, we've had Jazz already, but we've we've got a Jazz with gray instead of silver. The colors on the chest are a little different. It's very faint, but there is some different color here on the grill. It's not easy to pick up because it's very close in color to this white, but it looks nice. And then the face is gray. One thing though is the shoulders, the lower legs, the black part. This is still black. It isn't jet black like the original, and I'll do some comparisons, but it doesn't have that gray color like the animation had. So that's one thing that's a little different. And I will say that this Wheeljack, I like this color scheme better on Wheeljack too. One other thing to remark on is that Sunstreaker and Wheeljack were given extra guns. I don't know whose guns these are, but are they the same gun? They are okay, they're not the same gun. But yeah, I gotta figure out whose guns these are. So it's a little weird reviewing figures that technically existed before. So let's let's talk about comparisons next, because I think that's the most important thing to go for. I will say all of them, the joints feel pretty tight. So I don't know if there are any improved tolerances, but it does seem like the joints a little bit tighter than the initial releases. All right, so let's try to zoom in a little bit. Okay. So Autobot pack original or 86, and pretty much the silver is swapped for this cool gray. We've got stripes on the rear wheel well now. The out, not the wheel well. That's a tongue. So we got stripes over the outer wheel where we didn't have on the original. The white, I think, is a little bit different. It's brighter on the original. Also, strangely, we've got this toy kind of Autobot symbol on the 86, and we've got animation type Autobot symbol on the 5 pack. So that's interesting. And we'll go over the vehicle modes, but just to let you see how that's looking on the back. Oh, he's not transformed correctly. You get the idea. um, so there's Jazz. I don't have Sunstreaker, so no Sunstreaker to compare. Also don't have Trailblazer. I do have Hoist, so we can just compare him with Hoist. And, are we going to get an animation style Hoist? That'd be nice. One thing I didn't really like on Hoist was the scrape marks on the hood, but they were still going for some kind of, I don't think the design team really, I think they were still kind of going back and forth from the first wave of War for Cybertron. Everything had battle damage, slowly moving towards no battle damage. This guy was kind of trapped in between where he had a little bit of battle damage on him. It would have been nice if they could have come up with some way to have done the wing arms a little different on Trailblazer just to give him, some variation, but, you know, understand the cost cutting that was done there. But looks good. Wheeljack, very night and day difference. This guy on the right looks dirty, like he's a cigarette smoker. He just got this kind of dingy white to him. Um, the 5 pack, nice and shiny. Definitely animation colors. I do still like the real mode details. The orange rims, the racing stripes. So I don't think I want to give up this wheeljack, but I definitely like this one a little bit better. There's real Jack. And then Hound, we basically had it's kind of crazy. They did oh, the repaint came first. So technically this is the original, and this is the repaint, because this came later. Um, this is cool. I like what this represents. But you know, we finally get a G1 colored Hound. Even with the fact that, a lot of these guys, except for Jazz, have these masterpiece versions. Having these versions in like the main line, uh, this is nice. If masterpiece didn't exist, I would really appreciate these for what they are. All right, so that is Hound. Okay, so we have a pretty large selection of these, quote unquote animation colored figures now. And some of these guys, like for instance, Prowl and Ironhide, we've got battle damaged, animation style. I really hope they make some normal animation style because although I think this is really cool, it'd be really nice to have the non-battle damage. I kind of feel like Side Swipe that came with the 2-pack is somewhere in between. He's got silver on his face, but he's got these jet white feet. He's got these very solid color work. It's very animation looking. And they did something kind of like halfway with the windshield where instead of it being silver or being clear, they painted, what did they do? It's like the plastic, it's like it's clear blue plastic that they painted silver on the inside. So he's kind of like some halfway point between, what the line was and what they're doing with some of this animation color stuff. Um, we had RC, the 86 RC. She's very much animation colors. And looking through figures, kind of realized Smokescreen is already there. Maybe with the windshields, the the windshield, you still have the see-through windshield, but everything else is very animation-like, except maybe the Autobot symbol. But then, he does have red on the chest, so just something to think about there. We had Cup from the Target line, and we also have Rodimus, and I feel like Rodimus is an in-between figure also. Gray animation style paint on the face, but the guns are silver, but those legs are definitely animation colors, but he's got a clear windshield. So he's kind of somewhere in between. So we've got an interesting thing going on. And the question is like how further is this going to go? Are we going to get all the figures over again? Probably not. Which figures are we going to get over again? I don't think Hasbro even knows. I think they're just some designer is kind of having his wish come true and he's like sneaking in these animation colors. So it would be nice to know what the future holds for this. Even without that, I appreciate that they've gone this far with it. All right, so let's get them into the vehicle modes and then we'll do a few more comparisons. Okay, so here they are in vehicle mode, and for the most part, they scale okay. If anybody is really out of place, it's going to be Trailblazer. If anybody's really out of place, it's going to be Trailblazer. I would say Hound also, but that's to be expected, and I don't have that big of a problem with it. They the toys didn't scale very well, and for the most part, the scaling tends to lean towards the robot modes with the G1 stuff. One thing I didn't realize is how similar Sunstreaker and Wheeljack are. They they may share a few similar parts, like that cage around the head, the chest area is the same, but everything else is different. So it's like a partial remold. Another thing that's kind of cute is how he's got robot feet underneath the car feet. Thought that was pretty interesting. One thing I like about Hound is he's got this thing where he's more or less transforming his leg all the way around to the front, so it kind of splits in half. Um, Popped it loose here, but it's kind of hard to demonstrate this. But this is the part of the leg. This is the foot. This is the other side of the leg. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, how there's some creative things done with the arms to get them out of the way. Got sort of a similar thing going on with the Trailbreaker and Hoist mold also. So I thought that was interesting. Now, Wheeljack and Sunstreaker have these extra guns. They can be stored, but they don't store in a logical way. But yeah, you can store them. That's cool. And with Jazz, I mean, even though this paint scheme is simple, they've gone to a lot of extra detail. Like they put the martini black strap on the top, even on the back. They put that black paint there. That's real attention to detail. The only other thing they could have done is just not had that number one there and just had a four. But they're trying to skirt around Martini Racing copyright stuff. So no big whoop. I get it. So for the guys who I've got counterparts for, I'm just gonna go over them real quick. So talking about Jazz a moment ago. So here's Jazz and his counterpart. And I like each one for different reasons. It's a little interesting that we got the racing stripe on the animated and not on the 86. Probably cost cutting measure or an oversight, but there's Jazz. I like them both. This isn't much of a comparison, but here's Hoist and Trailbreaker. And interesting thing, the sides are going to be painted anyway, so really you got the front windshield that's going to be different on both. I do really like this blue, this animated color blue. I think if I had a choice, I would just say go ahead and make them all like that. All right, so Wheeljack, the what is this? Earthrise, the Earthrise version. I enjoy the look of it, even though even this is not really accurate. I mean, it's trying to look like the original toy. It's cool. I like it. But these colors over here on the animated version, they're very striking and they just look nice. I like both of them for different reasons. And last, this isn't really Hound and Hound. This is Hound and I forgot what this guy's name is. Dietrich, but just to show you some variation, you got the Autobot symbol and the yellow star here. This guy's a Decepticon, so a little different. So, if you are a fan of the animation, I say get this set. This set's been out for a while. I'm just now getting a chance to review it, but if you can pick it up, pick it up. If you've got these figures already, I don't know that you need this set. you really gotta like have an appreciation for this color scheme and what this is supposed to represent. But yeah, if you got these figures already, you may not need them. Although, this is the only way we're getting Earth Mode Hound, so you kind of got to get that for him. And I do think that color yellow is way better than the original release for Sunstreaker, so that's another plus. So that's a review. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think if you picked this up already. If you want Hasbro to do more with these colors. Do you want Hasbro to just do stuff like this and stop doing, the shaded stuff, because we know how things go with clear plastic and things breaking. As always, thanks for watching. Please tune in to some more videos coming up. And again, thank you.